If you are a brand custodian or a marketer in any capacity, chances are that you grew up being educated with case studies of brands that carved out a huge share of the market for themselves against all odds. The odd typically being that the audience did not see value in whatever that you were selling straight away. They had to create that value, often by flipping a product disadvantage into an advantage or making an ordinary feature seem like it is the biggest breakthrough in the category. Countless such stories have impressed us with their genius. It was genius in a different time. Welcome to Brand Restart, where I hit the restart button on branding, unlocking new rules of branding for a changed world, based on my book, Building Brands in a Suddenly Changed World. Marketers are excellent line blurrers. They blur the lines between wants and needs. They are excellent at making people believe that they need whatever that the marketer is selling. And it worked. That was what marketing and selling was all about. Just that the actual needs of the customer never went away. In fact, they kept growing bigger and bigger. It grew to the point of an entire generation of young independent entrepreneurs taking matters into their own hands the minute they could. This new wave of enterprise continues to mushroom in the forests of giant legacy trusted household brand names, shaking up the very foundations of how things have functioned and how brands have sold to people. We were born out of catering to actual audience needs and R&Ding to try and find solutions to actual problems. Problems such as snacking on low sugar while getting the satisfaction of snacking, or the need of representation of multiple skin tones instead of just idealize one particular lightest skin tone, or the need for a school that doesn't make children feel like they are being sent to prison every day and doesn't churn out another brick in the wall. The list is endless. What's fascinating is that these are enterprises which are built to cater to actual consumer needs, not product first but consumer need first, are also built for profit. The difference is that new age founders see buyers as allies as opposed to sitting ducks for hunting. This enterprise renaissance, as I would like to call it, is a result of the same consumer empowerment that I spoke about in my previous episode that you can go check out on YouTube and various platforms. Today, the consumer is empowered with choice, with information, with the ability to verify information. This entrepreneur is also born out of this. There's a facility to learn how to start a business. The view of a consumer as this vulnerable emotional fool was very convenient to marketers, and now it is smashed. Consumers have shifted from buying into aspiration alone to buying into the product itself. New age people, be it new age founders, new age marketers, new age brand custodians, or even people with legacy companies that have updated themselves, are the people who recognize a shift in consumer behavior. And it's not always a function of the year of inception, it's about a mindset. Byju's, an edtech company, was founded in 2011, but they operated like a traditional profit hound. And within 10 years of their existence, they have lost favor. Every new age company that is born in the last 20 years and is still thriving are the ones that did not act like wolves. Some of these include Oyo Rooms, the Wellness Company, The Whole Truth, Bliss Club, Hyphen Beauty. I would love it if you would leave in the comments some of these companies that you can think of which were born in the last 10 to 20 years and are giving all the big legacy brands a run for their money or are making the big companies rethink their whole way of operating. And if you have any thoughts on why those companies are managing to become favorites today, please include that along with the names of the companies that you put in the comments. And if you don't, if you just name these new companies that were born in the last 10 to 20 years and are doing really well, I will try and analyze what it is about these companies that is giving them that edge. I have a suspicion that most of them are born, as I said, from a consumer need which was just ignored for centuries by legacy companies. It was considered impossible. And these companies believe that no, it is possible or it is probably possible, and let's experiment and let's find out. If you read the story of WhatsApp, it's incredible. And that's also born in the last 20 years. Motivation behind starting WhatsApp was that why can't communications be available free of cost? It's such a basic right. The next episode I'm very excited about, and that is the change dynamic between employers and employees. I've sort of covered it in another episode of mine called Detox Boss, but that was specifically about leadership, about how bosses function. This one is about the overall change dynamic between employers and employees. If you're someone who's interested in new age brand strategy, new age businesses, new age ways of working, you would like to subscribe to this channel. So I hope you subscribe. Coming back to today's topic, if there's one thing that you take home from this episode, it is this: new age businesses are being built on good, and they get profitable and get rich too. They do it by listening to and responding to audience needs on an ongoing basis, which there's no shortage of.